Championship week began Saturday on ESPN. And Fordham, led by Damon Lopez, battled Holy Cross into overtime, where Jean Prelo's three-pointer at the buzzer gave the Rams the first-ever Patriot League championship. That same night, St. Francis 5'10 senior guard Mike Izzolino poured in 32, including 6 three-pointers, leading the Red Flash to their first Northeast Conference championship. And today, Fordham and St. Francis vie for a trip to the NCAA tournament. It's a one-game playoff at St. Francis Maurice Stokes Physical Education Building in Loretto, Pennsylvania. Good afternoon and welcome to Play-In Day on ESPN. I'm Bob Carpenter from Loretto, PA. The Northeast Conference plays host to the Patriot League in the first of 3 on ESPN today and tonight. And here today we get a chance to see not only the best teams from these two leagues, but Larry Conley, also the players of the year for each club and each league.
And Bob, one of them, Damon "The Source" Lopez, a big, strong physical center. This guy, how about getting cut from your high school team as a junior and a senior? But oh, how things have changed for this young man. He's grown, he's put on weight, he's become a terrific, terrific player. The Source has truly become a force.
Inside for the visiting Fordham Rams. And meanwhile, because they're not strong inside, the team that plays here, St. Francis, will have to get great outside shooting.
Well, I think maybe they may have a new canonization in this area out here called St. Izzolino. Mike Izzolino really has done as great a job at that guard position as anybody in the country. That 24-point-per-game average he's carrying, he is second in the nation in three-point field goal percentage and 5th in free throw percentage. A great guard, Bob.
The winner plays into the NCAA tournament. St. Francis has never been in that tournament, and they haven't been to postseason play in 33 years.
ESPN's presentation of Championship Week is brought to you by Volvo, the car that's famous for its safety, durability, and longevity. And by Budweiser, the king of beer, to remind you, friends know when to say when.
Welcome back to the Maurice Stokes Physical Education Building in Loretto, Pennsylvania, about 2 hours east of Pittsburgh, if you ever like to take a drive out here. And they are driving toward the NCAA, they feel, with a team that's 23-7, but the visitors are good. Nick McCarchuk in his 4th year at Fordham, a 24-6 record. It's the first time they've ever won 20 ball games or more in back-to-back seasons. And Fordham will look to their man up front, Jean Prelo, a 6'2 junior guard. He has been a lifesaver for them this year.
Bob, Jean Prelo is one of those types of players you got to have on the outside. A floor leader, he's very quick, and a terrific pull-up jump shooter.
Meanwhile, we'll check out the Red Flash of St. Francis, a ball club that's 23-7 and just got finished going 13-3 in the Northeast Conference, their first ever season title, and they've been almost impossible to beat at home this year with a record of 16-1.
And Joe Anderson, the guy that really has elevated his game each year. Great anticipator on defense, a Reggie Lewis-type guard, very fluid.
Jim Barron, a former assistant at Notre Dame under Digger Phelps for 6 years back in the early 80s. His 4th year here and getting things turned around after he went the right way early here, Larry, and went with younger players. He got Izzolino plugged into the program, and that's been a big plus the last 2 seasons.
Here are the game notes for this evening's play. Fordham 17-1 in their last 18 games, 48-15 in the Northeast Conference. St. Francis, the Red Flash. Oh, I love that nickname. Last postseason bid, 1958. They're 16-1 at home. Tough to beat in this little place here, Bob.
That was the NIT in 58. They also had gone in 54 and 55. And St. Francis finished 4th in 1955, and that's when the guy in the building is named after. Maurice Stokes was the MVP of the NIT.
Bob, just for a second, to talk strategy about this particular game. Fordham has a very balanced attack. For those of fans out there who have not seen either one of these clubs play much this year, they have a good inside and an outside game. St. Francis, on the other hand, really relies a great deal on their outside shooting, really led by Mike Izzolino. This is a club that will try to beat you from the perimeter, and they're excellent three-point shooters.
They're shooting 44% as a team from three-point range this year. Isolino up in the mid-50s. There he is, 42, right in the middle of your screen. What a story he is. He played 53 games over 2 years at Penn State, averaged 3 points a game, and transferred. And at least here in Loretto, the rest, as they say, is history. He's been outstanding.
He's had a number of 30-point games this year. He's just been a terrific player, and what an addition to the St. Francis Red Flash Club. Going to have a lot of fun. This is what the NCAA tournament and college basketball is all about.
Championship week continues. Play-in day tips off right now. And it's controlled by the Red Flash.
Mike Fink, not to be confused by the guy who went down the Mississippi River. This guy plays basketball.
Isolino keys the attack. Gets it off for Tom Benich.
Fordham opens up man-to-man.
They are a perimeter team, and from the left side, John Hilbert, a senior, with 2.
Now St. Francis looks like they're going to play zone. A 2-3.
Buckner from Rice. Ooh, and he got the roll for the 3. Dave Buckner, just a sophomore.
Right away, Fordham goes to a trap. Looks like a 1-2-2 on the point. Look for the trap to come in midcourt or on the sideline.
Middle of the court, number 20, Mike Rice, the one that keys them offensively and on the full court pressure. There's another one for the left side. The 3 won't go, and the follow is up and in for Joe Anderson.
Jim Barron's first recruit, Joe Anderson. What a player he has become.
Out on top, our first look at Fred Herzog, 23. Buckner back on top to Rice. Yes, he's the son of Mike Rice, one of our ESPN colleagues and former collegiate head coach.
Good ball movement right now by the Fordham Rams, trying to find the opening down inside.
Shot clock is down near 15 as Rice penetrates and throws it up and rams it in off the glass.
You know, he only averages 3 points a game. Really more willing to get the ball up, distribute it, than score. Unusual to see him make that move right into the teeth of that St. Francis game.
Fordham on top by 4, a minute 35 in.
Always got to be aware of where Isolino is on the floor. But I can tell you that Nick McCartchuk is going to be aware of it. Fordham went to a zone defense. I thought they may go man-to-man, considering the way the St. Francis shoots from the perimeter.
Well, they are expected to switch up. They are a multiple defensive team. Here's Hilbert again. He's 2 out of 3, and that's a 3. Hilbert with 5. He just made the all-tournament team as they wrapped up that championship here on Saturday.
Both clubs staying with that zone defense.
Reload. NBA range.
And both clubs burning it from the outside.
Prelo, only the 5th junior ever at Fordham to go over 1,000 points during his pre-senior days. He's been an outstanding shooter for them. He's had some buzzer beaters. We'll tell you more about those later.
Fordham's going to be content to stay back in that 2-3. Anderson lost it. They got it back. Buckner touched it last.
Dave Buckner, a good story out of Houston's Clear Lake High School, was an honorable mention All-American there. Didn't play much as a freshman, but he's really gelling as a second-year player. And that's opened up Texas for them recruiting-wise. Rice down to Buckner. He skies for 3. And the rebound uncontested for Joe Anderson. Haven't heard a peep yet from Damon Lopez.
A straight pass inside.
Fink went right at him, and it's pulled off of there by Rice.
Look out from behind. Buckner alerted Rice to Fink coming up from behind. Good play.
4 men on Lopez, and he gets the roll. Damon Lopez out of Cardinal Hayes High School in the Bronx. The Patriot League Player of the Year, and he never played high school basketball.
Got cut his junior year and his senior. The big factor is he was only 6'1" when he got cut. He's grown 8 inches since he left high school.
He didn't get mad or get even. He got bigger. 3.5 minutes in. 10-7 for Fordham. Fink gets it down low. Rice has to foul him to avoid giving up the layup.
Isolino with a pass to Fink on the inside. Lopez was there to make the defensive play. He let the ball get by him, and Rice had to come in and help. It's nice to have a little help from your friends on D.
Took 3 minutes and 39 seconds for the first foul by either club. Isolino looking in. Over the top for Hilbert. Rice on him with the steal. And a man open down court. Prelo all the way. And Mike Rice makes the big play for Fordham.
Got the steal, got the pass to the open man.
We know Dad's out on the West Coast watching somewhere tonight, getting ready to work a ball game of his own this evening in the NBA. Has to be proud of that last effort. Fink with the offensive rebound over the top. St. Francis will keep it. We're 4 minutes and 2 seconds into the play-in game. Fordham on top early, leading St. Francis by 5. We will pinpoint our location for you, about a third of a way from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia. And for you Penn State fans, we're not far from State College either here in Loretto, Central PA.
There's the man right there. He's done a terrific job at St. Francis. Jim Barron, 16-1 at home, 51% from the field they've been shooting. About as good as you can do.
Barron, a St. Bonaventure alum, out of there back in 77. Assisted there in 80, Notre Dame from 81 to 86. And doing a fine job here with his team trying to get into its first ever NCAA tournament. They're on offense with Fordham trying to trap on the near side.
Now they changed it 2-3 a little bit, went to the trap.
Burying the three from outside, Joe Anderson with 5.
I'm going to tell you what, he just fired a frozen rope. That thing never got any higher than 10 feet when he was up in the air to let it go.
2,245 career points now for him. Buckner short from the left corner. The rebound for John Hilbert. Isolino has not been a factor offensively so far. They're really on him. They're guarding him with the bigger Fred Herzog.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty smart idea on the part of Nick McCarthy. Put a big guy on him. He knows he's not very quick. Mike does not have the great quickness. You can see right there. Good dish to the corner, though.
Anderson, dribble fake, and the shot won't go. Grabbed offensively by Fink. Herzog gets the loose ball after the miss.
I'm a little surprised that St. Francis is able to go to the boards and battle with his Fordham Rams. A much bigger club.
Rice for Prelo. That's a 2 from the corner. And Jean Prelo out of Teaneck, New Jersey, just a junior, off to a quick start with 7 of their 14.
He hit the big three-pointer against Holy Cross to win that Patriot Conference tournament.
He's done it against others as well. Buzzer beaters to take care of Seton Hall and Lehigh this year. That was a big win for them. That Seton Hall game gave them a lot of notoriety. That was Isolino on the initial miss. Fordham keeps coming up with the loose balls as Prelo keys the break. Rice penetrates. Dishes down low. Lopez trying to go back to him. Good reach to tip it away by Mike Fink. 5 new players coming in. We'll set those after we tell you about what's headed your way tonight. The MEAC will take on the Southland with Florida A&M at Northeast Louisiana. Tim Brando and Dick Vitale there at 7:30. At 9:30, the Big South with Coastal Carolina against the Southwestern Athletic Conference with Jackson State. Mike Gorman and Bill Raftery at 9:30 tonight. Also, Tom Mees will be along for a special edition of Sports Center at 7 o'clock Eastern. Prelo misses way out with the 3. Loose ball. Joe Anderson has it and runs. Nice pass. Right side, man who just came in, Antoine Patterson with the miss. And the ball goes to Fordham.
St. Francis doing a good job of battling the backboards, but they're not getting any results from it. The offensive end, they're really pounding the glass, and Fordham having difficulty trying to keep them away from there. A little surprised at the way St. Francis has been able to dominate that offensive glass against Fordham's defensive rebounding.
Running the offense, Jay Fazan for the Rams, a 6-foot sophomore out of New Orleans. Prelo around the horn. Down low, about to slam was Jenkins, and it was blocked.
Anderson with a good block from the backside.
Now Steve Strachan dribbles it off his foot. If he grabs it, it's a backcourt violation, and the ball will go back to Fordham. Dave Buckner will check back in. He will replace the quick man out of the gate as Jean Prelo sits down with 7 early points. So they've got Fazan out there, the backup point guard. He'll play about 20 minutes a game, though, number 4, middle of your screen.
St. Francis now gone man-to-man.
Down low, Sanford Jenkins. Unable to knock it down. Isolino still scoreless with it for St. Francis. Almost 7 minutes in. Here's a guy averaging a league-leading 24 points a game. Dishes baseline. Easy layup for Antoine Patterson.
Bob, I think this may show you a little bit of the maturity Mike Isolino has. For a guy who's been averaging 24 points a game, he is more than willing to give up his shot if he can find somebody open.
Steve Strachan with a steal. Goes 1-on-2, and his pass was deflected by Buckner to the arms of Fazan. Now Buckner looks at the 3, passes it up. Better than 7 minutes in, a 2-point ball game. Fordham 14, St. Francis 12. Fazan, nobody open, shoots the three, strokes it home.
Yeah, and Anderson backed off of him a little bit. Fazan, a very good shooter from there. Let's come out and guard him a little bit. Fordham stays with that press.
Only his 12th attempt from three-point range this year, and the 5th time he's knocked it down, and the lead goes to 5.
Strachan and Isolino are playing with the ball out front. Fordham staying back in that 2-3 zone.
Gonna have to shoot him out of it, they say. Isolino right now being guarded by Jay Fazan, so that's 5'11" against 6 foot. A little better matchup than when he had 6'9" Herzog standing in front.
You know, Bob, the numbers would tell you not to play a zone defense against this club as well as they play. Great drive on the baseline.
Antoine Patterson again getting good service for his second layup.
Point I was going to make is the way St. Francis shoots their 3-point field goals. I don't know that I'd be content to stay in a zone. Nick McCarthy feels like he can. Right now, he's got the 3-point lead.
They thought Buckner double dribble at the top of your screen. Now he comes off a pick and takes the 3. Up strong with a rebound. Tom Benich averaging a team-leading 6 boards a game. Isolino double team, has to kick it off. And it looks like a 3-shot foul. Joe Anderson out there on the wing, and going right after him was Buckner.
You know, I don't want you to think this is my imagination, but when I look at these rims, it seems like every ball that goes up there, these rims are very, very soft. The ball seems to be really taking them, and they just kind of hang around up there.
Larry, look at the slants on that rim. That's the basket to our right. The one at the left has an even more profound lean to it. That may help the home team shoot a little better. You get a few more shooter rolls here.
Well, you know, even with a 3-point shot, most of those 3-point shots carry them long. They'll come way away from the basket, but they're not even doing that. They're pretty much staying underneath the basket on the rebounds, on the misses.
There's the other end. Look at the lean on that one. Now, they claim it is 10 feet up there.
I'd say they're really soft. I think maybe even you and I could score on these.
There's the second. 7 points now for Joe Anderson.
One thing for sure, we would draw a lot of iron when it goes up there.
That 22-40 is what he started the game with, and he already has 8. Timeout on the floor. The 3 foul shots tie the game. 8 minutes and 35 seconds in. It's 17-all. Still remembered after all these years, they call him our Maurice. Mr. Stokes, their all-time leading scorer and rebounder here. A great career that wrapped up back in the 60s, Larry, and then ended rather tragically.
Yeah, and you know, I think the most amazing statistic that I saw in all those numbers that he had in his senior year in college was the fact that he averaged 26 rebounds a game. Played for the old Rochester Royals, and an injury which eventually was encephalitis, which led to his death, which was a terrible tragedy.
Because of a head injury suffered against the Minneapolis Lakers back in 1958. Still loved and, in fact, buried here on campus. Fazan from 3-point range. Great position underneath. And a big presence has been Antoine Patterson since he came in.
I hate to reiterate this, but I'm telling you, St. Francis is doing a great job of rebounding the ball. Isolino so upset. He had 2 guys open in the middle of that zone.
Yeah, Fink was the first man. Patterson the second, and Fink tipped it right past Antoine. Tie game. We're 45 seconds away from the midway point in the first half. Fordham out of the Patriot League with the ball down on the baseline, and there's the steal for John Hilbert as St. Francis out of the Northeast Conference comes down offensively.
We felt
a chance to take the lead.
Felt the breeze on that one.
We're awfully close. It's a cozy little gym here. It seats about 3,500.
Look at that pass.
Anderson buries it. Joe Anderson with 11 already. He might break Maurice Stokes' career scoring record here tonight. He needed 40-some to get there. There's a ball that hits the support over the baseline, and St. Francis with a 3-point lead gets it back.
Nick McCarthy not very happy, but this crowd's happy. I'll tell you what, Isolino made a great pass that time, a hook pass from one side of the lane all the way to the corner and the other end to Anderson. Looks like he's going to be content to give up his scoring average tonight to find some open players.
I asked Mike before the game, do you need to hit a basket early to get into it? He said no, no problem. And he's shown us that because he's passed for points. Kicks it out again. Anderson, nice catch. Another hook pass. Isolino closed on quickly. All over him is Dewey Stinson.
Nice ball movement.
Anderson misses the three. Herzog has it taken away by Patterson. And finally taking charge, Lopez with the outlet. Down to Stinson. Over the top with the foul will be Antoine Patterson.
Patterson came very close to getting that ball legitimately inside without climbing over the back of Dewey Stinson. Stinson really missed an easy layup in there because the defender down inside backed off of him. John Hilbert was following.
Tom Bennett, his starter, will check back in. And what an early effort by Antoine Patterson, who sits down with that one foul, 4 points. That was the first team foul on St. Francis. Herzog got a great pass from Mike Rice, and Fred Herzog, averaging 13, is on the board. That makes it a 1-point game with 9:15 to go. Underneath, and Mike Fink, an easy slam.
St. Francis having a lot of success getting the ball inside against that Fordham zone.
Rice to Lopez, and a foul.
No foul. Oh, a lot of ball.
It'll be number 1 on Mike Fink, a 6'7" sophomore out of Cincinnati.
You know, Fordham's having some success against the St. Francis zone, too. Watch this Lopez grab inside right here over Fink. Good catch. There's the foul from behind. We couldn't see it. It was out of the picture. Fink from behind Lopez with a good, strong move.
Lopez made the all-tournament team of the Northeast Surrender Patriot League affair up in Worcester, Mass. 3 points on the day. He averages 18 and 10 rebounds.
Watch it again from down. Yeah, he got the arm.
Yep. Pretty good free throw shooter, too. Lopez knocks them both down, 74% from the line this year.
Kind of hard to find anybody on either one of these clubs that's not a good free throw shooter.
As a team, Fordham 72%, St. Francis College of PA 75. Isolino with a 3, and he's now 0 for 2 from that range. The loose ball, Sean Freelow runs with it for the Rams.
Oh, good move. Good move.
He just moved right away from Hilbert. Isolino with the rebound and trying to strip it. Mike Rice with a second foul.
Oh, I want to show you something that happened right there. When Mike Rice committed that foul on Isolino, he went up the floor and didn't even stop until he heard the whistle. He knew he'd been fouled, but that is a great lesson for young players. Don't stop until you hear the whistle.
Joe Anderson takes a seat 11 points early, and he's now 32 away from being number 1. He might get another chance. Even if they lose tonight, St. Francis a possibility for the NIT.
You know what? I think Fordham's in. Win or lose this game, I think as well as they've played this year and the schedule they played, they deserve to be in it.
They beat Seton Hall at home. They won at Vanderbilt. They beat Xavier at home. Looks like Herzog's the man they're pointing at.
Freelow.
Yes, it will. It'll be his first.
What's John Freelow right here as the ball comes down inside. Good kick right there. Good turn. I'll tell you what, that foul occurred quickly. I never saw that one.
Yeah, just a little reach in. And then to the baseline goes Steve Strachan to throw it in. Official Leroy Hendricks hands it to him. John Hilbert, who hit those 2 early baskets on the left wing. They've got Strachan out top running the offense with Isolino in the right point. Their perimeter team is in there. Tom Bennett at the high post. Fordham down low is Fink.
Fordham really extending that zone defense now. They push it way out.
Rice is the man closing on Isolino whenever he receives it.
Look at
he goes down low now.
Bob, excuse me. See the opening right behind the guards right in there? Right in front of Lopez, the center. There's the opening right there.
Bennett back to Strachan, nothing there. Shot clock down to 10. Isolino about 40 feet from the hoop right now. Goes one way, faked out Rice, drives, can't knock it down, but Fink puts it in.
At this point, the offensive rebounding of the Red Flash is as good as it can get.
They were not expected to be able to compete underneath with the likes of Damon Lopez, who's been rather quiet so far. Home team by 3 with 7:15 to go, first half.
Change of defense now. Fordham's gone man-to-man.
Herzog out watching Isolino, 6'9" against 5'11".
Great
finished
defense.
close to a 5-second call as he dumped it off for Hilbert.
Fordham doing a nice job with their defense right now.
Shot clock down to 10 again. Izzolino looks at Fordham. He's picked off by Fink. Now it's down to 5. Now he rolls to the hoop. And yes, Mike Fink with a half dozen. They used 43 seconds of the clock.
What I didn't understand is why Fink didn't roll the first time when he picked for Izzolino out front. Then he made a delayed move to the basket. Then Lopez didn't even follow him.
That's a new play called the pick, wait, and roll. And score. The crowd really into it now. Prelo tries to shut him down, and he does with the 3.
That'll quiet a home audience very quickly.
He's into double figures with 10. Boy, he is coming up so big in the big games for Fordham.
He's a shooter. Straight in and really backing off and look at the defense. Now Fordham's changed. They've gone back to that zone, a 2-3.
They try to trap Izzolino. Fink over the top. Strachan penetrates, throws it up, and Lopez blocks it, but Strachan got it back.
You got to reset the clock.
Yeah, the ball didn't go out of bounds.
You got to reset the clock.
The only time, or rather it does go back to 45 if it stays in bounds. The only time it doesn't if it goes out. Now we get a timeout on the floor. 5:42 to go. St. Francis over. Fordham playing in today by 2.
It's championship week live on ESPN. It'll be rock and roll time, showtime. It'll be unbelievable, baby. Get it, T.O., baby. It'll
Championship week. It keeps going and going.
It'll be awesome with a capital A.
Mike Izzolino is yet to score, but let me show you some of the things he can do. Watch him take the ball to the basket against Mike Rice here. Does not utilize the screen, takes it inside, but watch Mike Fink on the follow-up, the tap in. Something St. Francis is doing a lot of. Good follow-up on missed shots. Watch Izzolino again. Good pass away from the defense. Lopez. Fink saw him go by, took advantage of it, went baseline, and laid it in. Mike Fink was 6 first-half points. You just saw 4 of them on those 2 plays.
Just one under his average. He gets a breather as Antoine Patterson with 4 off the bench, checks back in. Izzolino with the ball, 0 for 3 from the field. But Joe Anderson has pulled down 3 rebounds, and that's one of the reasons St. Francis is on top so far with 5:30 to go first half. There's Anderson. He is quick on the dribble. A little long with the shot, though, and Prelo pulls it down.
Had the shot. He was just a little bit off balance.
Mike Rice with 2 points, 2 fouls, running the offense. His coach, Nick McCartcher, calls him the heart and soul of this team. One time they never got it near the basket.
What happened, Herzog was trying to post up Izzolino inside, and he got a little help.
There's a steal by Prelo from Izzolino. Giving chase is Bennett, kicking it off, and a steal by Steve Strachan. 3-on-3 they go. Strachan right side, Anderson.
Pretty. Way to run the break. Strachan with a terrific pass and a cut by Anderson.
They lead by 4, down deep. Lopez answers.
That's where the Rams need to go with the ball. Ram it inside. Get it to Lopez.
Lopez with a half dozen, 2 of them from the field. 2 field goals from the field, that is. And we're down under 4.5 minutes to go in a tight ball game.
Very surprised at the way St. Francis has been able to battle the board. Haven't heard much out of Lopez on the backboard. A little bit of scoring, but not much from the backboard.
Nice cut by Anderson.
Joe Anderson with 15 in the first half. And again, he got great service from Strachan, who's setting everybody up.
Well, that was a terrific cut on the inside and a good look by Strachan.
Prelo for Herzog. And Lopez down low, working hard on Patterson.
Now Lopez wants it. He wants it inside.
But they're dropping Anderson down on him. Now rolling off the pick is Jenkins. He gets the follow and can't knock it down. Have 2 more touches. Play continues as Patterson dribbles it down for Anderson. And we may have a blocking foul. Looks like Prelo with his second.
Think Nick McCarthy's a little upset? Yeah, he is. Watch Anderson right here. He's really out of control. That's a pretty good call. Prelo looked like he was moving his feet, cutting across on the angle.
Leroy Hendricks right there to call the block. Timeout on the floor. 3:41 to go first half. Nick McCartchuk livid on the road. His team down by 4.
Welcome back, everyone, to Play In Wednesday. We want to remind you, coming up at halftime, we will revisit with the Calvins. They were the coaching team up at Kuwait family, and we'll go back with them. So stay with us. We'll examine that in a moment.
With Joe Anderson maybe on his way to a career game, Mike Isolino may be on his way to a big 0 here in the first half. Also 3 turnovers to go with that 0 for 3 from the field. Inbounds play. They work it nicely, and Tom Bennett has his first basket.
Well, that was an easy basket. Fordham guilty a little bit of standing around watching that one. St. Francis now man-to-man.
Biggest lead. They're up by 6, 32-26. 3:25 to go first half.
Watch Anderson drop back in the lap of Lopez. Bazan had an opening right there. Could have taken the shot.
Buckner penetrates. Lopez double-teamed. Whips it out to Bazan on the dribble penetration. Drew the foul and just couldn't get it to drop. John Hilbert, his first foul.
James Bazan may be one of the best players I've seen this year, Bob, at taking care of the basketball. You know, his ratio is almost 2-to-1 assists to turnovers. You get a guard like that can control the basketball, you got somebody that can really play this game.
Bazan, 6 foot 180, a sophomore out of De La Salle High School in New Orleans. Fourth point of the night, had a 3 a little bit earlier.
It's nice to go to New Orleans and recruit. Good restaurants, good places to eat.
That's where you find guys named Jerome Bazan.
Yes.
They call him Jay. 5 for him, back to a 4-point game, 3:11 to go. They get it in for Anderson. Out of control, lost it. Lopez with Bazan on the left, 2-on-2. Now they wait for the trailer Buckner. Lopez dribbles his way, and Anderson fouls him.
Changed a little bit that time. It was Fordham's full court pressure. They got a good turnover that time, pushed it down the floor, got a break, and a chance to score a couple of points here. Maybe Fordham needs to do a little something to shake up their defense. Their half-court defense has not been very effective against St. Francis. That time they turned up the press and got a turnover.
Damon Lopez really is playing out of position. He's not a center. At 6'9", 240, he would be a great power forward, but they have nobody to play there since the graduation of Dan O'Sullivan, who was their big man last year. In fact, all 5 of the Rams are basically playing out of position from where they normally would be if they had that big man.
Lopez pretty well on track to get about what he averages per year. Watch Isolino handle this press.
Bazan looks at him. Isolino trying to avoid the trap, dances around Jenkins, and that's a foul on Sanford Jenkins.
You know, Bob, he's really not very quick, but he's got a terrific first step, and he's got a great head for the game. Let's go back and take a look at Mike Isolino's avoidance of the trap. Bazan in good position to try to get him trapped right there. Look at that move. You got a little hesitation in that back up and then go around. That's keeping your dribble alive and your head up.
Team foul number 6 on Fordham. St. Francis with only 4. 2:40 to go first half. Been a pretty clean outing so far. Bennett's in the right wing. Anderson well short. He knew it. He was flying in to follow his shot right out of his hands. Bazan transitions for Fordham. This is Buckner. They switch and get Isolino on him, and that leaves Bazan open. Bazan gets the rebound. Nice shovel to Jenkins. He draws the foul. And they're looking at Antoine Patterson. Coming up at halftime tonight, John Saunders is manning the studio at ESPN this evening. Before our games coming up later, we'll look at tonight's action all around the country and the escape to freedom, the story of Jim Calvin, a U.S. citizen who was coaching the Kuwait national team when that country was invaded. Sitting down with foul number 2, Antoine Patterson. He's out of Buffalo, 6'7" junior. And Sanford Jenkins, a 56% shooter, still looking to get on the board.
I think of the starters, I think he's the only guy under 65% free throw shooting, or at least starters and the first 3 guys off the bench.
Nice rotation that time. Gets it back to a 1-point game with 2:18 to go first half.
Here comes that pressure again. He's got to walk, and they got another turnover.
Tom Bennett jumped up with the ball and then came back down before he got rid of it.
That change in defense really has helped Fordham. They've gone out there and gotten a couple of turnovers. Herzog on the ball right there. Not a good play. You got to know who you're going to pass to before you go up in the air. and you're sure not going to take a shot from there.
Fordham with a chance to retake the lead. Jenkins came up with a loose ball. Herzog crashes in.
There you go.
Lopez slams it home.
Fordham finally doing something on the offensive glass, getting it done inside.
Damon Lopez with 10. Fordham by a point under 2 minutes to go, first half. Hilbert from way out there. Way long with it. Shovel for Isolino.
That got the crowd up.
The Red Flash back up by 2.
I don't know of many communities I've ever walked into where I've had so much conversation drilled into my ears about a young player. All deserving for Mike Isolino.
Well, everybody in town knows him. He probably knows all of them, too.
Grew up very close to here in Altoona.
Herzog, left side, won't go. Isolino hustles for it, and Lopez with that long reach takes it away.
That was good hustle by Lopez to beat Isolino to the ball.
Herzog got Hilbert off the floor. Kazan for Buckner.
Kazan's got to take that shot. He cannot pass up that shot. Standing at the top of the circle, you got to be able to make that.
I don't know why he wouldn't, Larry. He hit a 3 very early, and for a bench player, you'd figure he'd be into the shooting touch. There's Buckner. Right corner. Rams keep it alive, but the loose ball comes off for John Hilbert. Angling in from the left side. Anderson!
Oh, what a move. Go back and take a look at one of the better athletic moves you're going to see all year. Watch Joe Anderson avoid a charge, float by Lopez, and still get the shot off after being fouled. And there's that soft rim again, Bob. It just caught the ball. It just kind of funneled it in. I know I'm going to talk about that all night, but I'm going to tell you, these rims really are soft. I think they're made of aluminum, not steel.
I think funnel is a good word. I think they're made out of Velcro myself. St. Francis up by 5 now. In the last 45 seconds, the shot clock is about 5 seconds ahead of the game clock, and that's an offensive foul on Jay Kazan. St. Francis in position to make a big run right here before halftime.
Well, they've got a chance now to hold the ball for the last shot of the first half. Kazan really got a little bit out of control. St. Francis changed their defense and came out with a little half-court trap. He didn't see it, didn't realize it. Made the charge, and now St. Francis with a chance to go up. They're going to go in here with at least 5 and maybe more.
Shot clock is off. Isolino. Herzog watches.
The only thing you got to be guarding against right here is the 5-second call. Herzog not going to pressure Isolino. Now he comes out. That's a mismatch. Isolino will take Herzog if he can.
Now it's down to 10.
Now he wants to clear out. He wants to clear out. He's going to take Herzog by himself.
There he goes, right side, cuts in, throws the pass. Fink misses the layup at the buzzer. They had a chance to go up by 7, but they lead by 5. And here in Loretto, Pennsylvania, it's the Joe Anderson story in the first half as the Red Flash leads by 5.